So in today's video, we're going to learn some more Aramaic words to understand some of the Old Testament. You can find information from where I'm reading today in Jasher, but the 8 names of Moses, and as you can see, when I did all the studying years ago, I compiled this, and I'm going to have a picture of this that is going to tell you what the Aramaic words that are in here so that you can read this, understand this, and Ishmael, Moses's name. And then you'll understand why they wanted to confuse all the people, because in the Middle East, there is a lot of upheaval regarding Ishmael and the descendants of Ishmael, which is the descendants of Moses keeping the law. So here we go. So you might want to be thinking to yourself, why is this important? Well, a lot of what I'm reading is intertwined in the Old Testament, but for today's purposes, it would be too long. I'm just going to read you from the book of Jasher, where a lot of the Old Testament comes from. And in chapter 68, verse 25, and Amram, which is another misspelling of Abraham, and Amram, his father, called his name Chabar, okay? It's spelled Chabar in this translation, but in Aramaic and Hebrew, it has a meaning to it, and this is one of the names that they called Moses. So the ch sound is actually a K sound, and kabar in Aramaic and or chabar, which is kabar, means companion, friend. In Hebrew, it means join or bind together, okay? So, in Amram, his father, called his name Chabar, means companion, friend, join or bind together, for he said it was for him that he associated with his wife whom he had turned away. And this is where they get the whole story in the Old Testament wrong, because Jochebed, his mother, Sarai, called his name, and you have to remember when you see this in Scripture, there's no J's. They didn't have J's. So anytime there's a J, remember there it was Y. In Hebrew, Yekuthel means hope of God, because she said, I have hope for him to the Almighty, and God restored him unto me. Now, this is not correct, because Miriamne, which is Mary Magdalene, was not his sister. Elizabeth was her mother, who also bore Jonah, John. But let's go forward. And Miriam, his sister, called him Jared. Now, you've seen that in the New Testament, right? In the book of Genesis. Jared, with a Y, Jared, means descent, he who descended. For she descended after him to the river to know what his end would be. And Aaron, we've talked about this word, Haran. This is also mistranslated when they transcribe. This word is not a person. It means brother of sin. And Aaron, his brother, called his name, the brethren of sin called his name, Abi Zunik, which means father or my father, saying, my father left my mother and returned to her on his account. So it's saying Abraham left his wife, his mother. Remember in the first part we were talking about Abraham said it was for him that he associated with his wife whom he had turned away. Okay. My father left my mother and returned to her on his account. In verse 29, and Kehath, which is another Aramaic Hebrew word, the father of Amram, called his name Abigador, okay, which means my father, and Gador means fence or wall. Because of his account did God repair the breach of the house of Jacob, that they could no longer throw their male children into the water. And their nurse called him Abi Soko, saying, in his tabernacle was he hidden for 3 months on account of the children of Cam, which is, they have it written as Ham. His name's not Ham, it's Cam, which is abbreviation of Canaan. Cam. And all Israel, who's Israel? The seed of God, the children of God, and all the children of God called his name Shemaiah. Shemaiah means light, life force, image of God, divine spark, vibration, identity of God. It's not a physical place, but an eternal state of consciousness of divine light and energy. Shemaiah, and son of Nathaniel, for they said, in his days has God heard their cries and rescued them from their oppressors. And Moses was in Pharaoh's house and was into Bethiah, Pharaoh's daughters, as a son, and Moses grew up amongst the children of the king. Now the word spelled Bethiah is actually Bithiah, deriving from Bat, Bath, or Aramaic Hebrew, Bartha. And what it means is, and Isaac, which Isaac means laughed. It's an Aramaic word. It's not a person. Laughed also because the sons of Esau, saying, may God cause you to be a dread and a terror to all that will behold you and to all your enemies. So it has a whole different meaning when it's talking about, and Moses was in Pharaoh's house and was unto Bethiah, okay? Esau saying, which Esau is actually Jesus, aka Jesus. May God cause you to be dread and terror to all that will behold you and to all your enemies. So it has a whole different meaning. And this is why I'm just trying to teach you Aramaic and show you where Shema, to hear. Shema Israel, Shema, to hear, obey, to listen. Shema Israel, teach your children the commandments of the Most High God. I've posted that song many times. It's in Scripture. Shema means hear, listen, all throughout the New Testament. For those that have ears, let them hear. Okay, Shema, hear, listen. And to obey the eternal God. Right? And so you're also going to see in the picture that I'm going to post in the comments, you can look at these words in Aramaic as well. But Ishmael is the original son of Abraham, which is Moses. And I did a whole video about Hagar. Hagar is an Aramaic word. And so you can go find that in the playlist. You can find the playlist easier on my YouTube channel that I'm growing. But I also have it, if you go into my albums on Facebook, it's a little bit harder because the thumbnails and the titles are not there the way that it is on the YouTube channel. So if you really want to get in and study Scripture and Hebrew and Aramaic and understand really what you're reading and get back to the Most High God, go over to the YouTube channel that is in the link. And I thank you for watching and staying to the end. I hope these videos are helping. I hope you share. I hope you follow, subscribe, and always look in the comments because I post stuff there. And thank you. Until next time, stay